Amen. Wow. We're already at 11:45 and I don't start preaching yet. Look at God. What are we going to do? You never going to tell me that. You never going to stop. Wonderful. How are you? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's a great day. Thank you so much to the team doing the music today. Thank you so much. Give them some love, please. We have been in a series since the beginning of the year talking about faith. And the series is titled Faith Works, Let's Work It. Say that for me. Faith works, let's work it. So, have you been working it? It's important, and let me tell you in the context why it's important. And it's important because I'm sure every single person in this room has some dream, some goal for 2026, right? Every one of us have some dreams. Some of us have multiple dreams. Some of them are here that we've written down from our Burning Bowl experience. But it's important that if those dreams are going to come to fruition, and if they're going to last, because it's one thing to get the thing, but it's another thing to keep or maintain the thing. Are you understanding that? Just like we can attract any relationship, Valentine's is nice, but by next month it broke up. Because there's nothing there to sustain it. Same thing with the car, the house, whatever it is. The money come and go, right? So it's important that your faith is activated and strong to be able to sustain whatever it is. Because it means that whatever it is that you would have achieved, it would have been built on Peter. Peter represents faith. Peter represents the rock, the solid foundation. So every single thing must be built on faith. Got that? Yes. That is why it's important that we go through and we understand what faith is. Right? So let us first take our scripture from 1 Corinthians 2 verse 9, which will support our lesson together. But as it is written, has seen, nor ear heard, nor the human heart conceived, Awesome, awesome. That is Paul writing to the people of Corinth. And Corinth was a flashy place. They like flashy things, and they like, in Jamaica, we had a thing once when they spoke about beautiful speaking. Do you remember that? Oh, no, it's only me remember. Right. Corinth was like that. They liked beautiful speaking and flashy things. And Paul was trying to remind them that though you've seen all these flashy things and beautiful people, you haven't really seen what is possible yet, because that's all based on the senses. But there's so much more than what the senses have to show you, and that is why Paul, in his letter to them, was explaining to them that no one has ever seen or heard anything like this, or even imagine what is possible. And so today we're talking about your imagination and how that works. I told you already, Reverend Sheila told you that we have 12 spiritual powers. We know that? Yes. Some people don't know. All right? So let me start again. We have 12 spiritual powers. How many we have? 12. Like the 12 disciples, right? And the 12 spiritual powers represents these gifts that we have, each one of us, to call forth to move through this life experience. Some of us are not aware of the gifts. Some of us are not aware of how to call forth the gift. And so we operate as though we are mere people going through and things just happen to us and nobody don't like us and all those kind of things. As opposed to recognizing that each one of us is so powerful if we could only know the power that we have. And so we're focused on Peter, which is faith, represents faith. And all of our disciples, all of the disciples must operate within a particular way. Until you call them forth, they're sleeping, they're dormant, they're inactive, though you have them within you. It's like a muscle that you have, And until you go to the gym and start to work that muscle, or you go walking like you did this morning and work that muscle like now they did, she won't know she's tired and she have those muscles to work if she never started walking with Paula. Right? It remains dormant. The same way you have these faculties that we have to work so that they can work for us. Why the series says faith work, let's work it. Right? Now, faith, Peter, must be directed by the Christ. Peter is the first disciple. Peter leads all the other disciples. But Peter, faith, must be directed by the Christ. The Christ is the ultimate. Like how Jesus became Jesus the Christ, and the Christ is located at the top of the head. Right? So it's also why when people pray, they tend to look up. Not looking up to heaven up there in the sky, but to a heightened awareness in a physical location in your body. That is where the Christ is located. Now, the Christ must direct every single disciple. Because if the Christ doesn't direct the disciple, it's going to waver. Right? Give you a good example. They were on the water with Jesus. See Jesus out on the water, and Jesus and Peter say, all right, Jimmy, come out there, come hang with you. Right? And Simon look pan, said Jesus, my pink jacket over there, so let's pretend this is Jesus, right? And him say, okay, we'll come hang with you, and him start moving towards, and then him get distracted because him go buck up on Sean and his wife. And say, could them never come to church too much weeks now. He has taken his attention from the Christ, represented by Jesus, and so he start to sink because he's now gone over here. Right? He's distracted. The same way for all of us. But in this day and age, it's not Sean and his wife that distracting us. It's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Right? That's what's distracting some of us. Right? The good body man and or woman distracting us. No, I'm serious. And so you take your eye from what you say you are going to achieve. You take your attention from the Christ that must direct the faith faculty, Peter, and you get distracted. Are you understanding? Then you wonder why there's something not happening yet. Why it can't come true. Why it not work? And you said the church are bogus. I have some people who tell me that they don't really like coming to this church because is motivational talking. But any place or person that doesn't motivate you to live your best life, run far from them. Remember, this is not the space that teaches you you're going to die in fire and brimstone, so you must be afraid, and that is why you must repent. No, you must repent because you want to live the life right here, right now. The heaven is right here, right now. It's not coming someday. It's right here, right now. So if you are not leaving here on a Sunday or any day we have church motivated to be your best self, then don't come back. Go find that place that is going to motivate you to be your best self. If your partner, your job, your business, your whatever it is not motivating you to be your best self, leave it. Anyway, that's not in the lesson. Let's go on. Let's get to the introduction. Let's read the introduction. Today. No, hold on, Lord. Center yourselves. Today we are working faith through the power of not pretending, not denying. Reimagination is a spiritual skill of taking a faith idea and shaping it into a clear inner picture until your mind agrees with God's good and your life starts to follow your agreement. Stop. Let's continue. Many people want change, but they keep rehearsing the whole story. They keep repeating the same inner conversations, and then they wonder why the results repeat. Stop there. Don't go no further. All of us, including me, have some old stories we're repeating. Every single one of us, no matter how saved you are. We have some old stories that we are repeating to ourselves that keeps us where we are. Those things in the chest that we wrote down in January or that you have on your phone, I meant to tell you from last week to bring your list with you. How many persons have a copy of their list that they have in there with them? Whatever they wrote in there, how many persons have a copy? Isn't that serious? How many people know what is on the list and can call it forth? Okay, good. Do me a favor. Take out your program and write down one thing on the list that you're ready to accept now, because we're going to work today. Today's lesson is a practical one. We're going to work it. So make sure you write down one thing. If you don't have something there, it doesn't matter. Just write down one thing you want to achieve for 2026 on your paper, on your phone, however you do it. Write it down. And remember, you just sang, I have a very big God. Good. So don't write down little small finky stuff. Write down something that if it happens, you know, say, must God do that. Right? Something that if it happens, you just say, that must be God and nothing else. Good? Now, we're identifying what are some of those stories that keep us stuck. Those stories we keep playing in our head. And I want you to see if any of these fit with you. And if any of them fit with you, anyone that make you go, ouch, as you say, ouch, write it down. Identity stories. The ones that keep us stuck. That's just how I am. I always mess things up. I'm not the kind of person who, you fill in the blank. I'm too much or I'm not enough. I'm behind everyone. It didn't work before, so it won't work now. Every time I try, it falls apart. My past disqualifies me. This is my pattern, so this is my future. Anyone that rings to you, write it down. If 10 of them ring to you, write down all 10. Nothing good comes easy. If I don't work hard, I lose everything. There's never enough money, or there's never enough time, or there's never enough help. People like me don't get breaks. Say, ouch. Relationship ones. People always leave. I can't trust anyone. If I speak up, I'll be rejected. I have to carry everything to be loved. The ones for approval and people pleasing. I need them to approve first or to understand first. I can't disappoint anyone. If I set boundaries, I'm selfish. I have to prove my value. The ones for fear and safety, if I succeed, something bad will happen. If I relax, I'll get caught slipping. It's safer not to try than to fail. I'll be exposed. People will see me. They will see the real me. Any of those ringing true? Yes. No, nobody. Very good. It's a safe church. Worthiness and spiritual guilt. I haven't done enough to deserve better. I should be farther along by now. God will bless others, but I'm always missing out. I have to fix myself before I can receive. Victimhood and blame stories. They ruined my chances. They must fight against me. Nothing ever goes my way. Life is against me. I can't have or do this because of what they did. The control one. If it's not perfect, it's pointless. I must know exactly before I start. I can't move until everything is certain. If I can't control it, I can't trust it. Are those any of your inner stories? If anybody here in your inner stories, put your hands up like this. If you heard yourself in any of these inner stories, hands up. Like we'll see if we're in the right place, giving the right lesson. Fantastic. So we got work to do. Let's get on with the rest of our introduction. Together, so here's our big truth for today. You can reimagine. Have been.
Because faith is not trapped in your past. Faith is a creative power operating right now.
Awesome. And let's go to point 1. Fantastic. Read point 1 for me.
Imagination is faith giving your desire a form.
Now, every single one of us has the capacity, and from time to time, we see different things. You catch an idea of something. Something said to you, oh my God, it's possible I could do this or I could do that. Right? That is faith in action. That's your faith pointing out something to you. Today's lesson is saying after you've caught this idea through faith, you have to now mold it into something specific to you. If you don't do the molding, then this is just a fleeting idea. Right? One that says, okay, I have the idea, I want to start a business. Okay, what kind of business you want to start? I don't know, I just want to start a business. Right? Same thing, I want to have a car. What kind of car you want to have? I don't know, I just want to drive. Right? The problem with that is that your goal, your dream becomes a hit or miss if you are not shaping it. So you now need to activate the next disciple, the next faculty, the next power you have, which is imagination. Imagination, physical location between the eyes, represented by the disciple Bartholomew, is your capacity to mold and shape the faith idea. So you get an idea through faith, and your imagination says, okay, here's an idea for a new outfit. Let's go and mold that together, or for clothes, or for looking good, or for beauty. And it molds that into Barbara's pink outfit. That is fantastic. It molds that into Sohail's pink shirt. That is his outfit. Before you came here this morning, your faith and your imagination worked. So I'm not telling you anything new. You said, I'm going to go to church. Your faith saw you the possibility of going to church. Your imagination now begins to mold what does that look like. Because going to church could look like going to any church. It doesn't have to look like coming to this specific one. Are you understanding? Also, your imagination molded and shaped what clothes you are going to wear. You look in your wardrobe and you say, okay, pink Sunday, maybe I can wear this. Maybe you would have done it from a couple of days ago. That is faith and imagination at work. Or some of you get up and wait until the umpteenth time and then go through the crowds and throw out everything on the bed and choosing. Are you somebody push somebody on this side? I was to say, are you that? But it's important that you know that your imagination shapes the thing into what you want it to be. That's why Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is the substance and the evidence, right? The things hoped for. Now, imagination or reimagination, I want to put the re in front of it because we are saying we're always imaging things. Always. You cannot go through life without imaging things. The challenge is that sometimes we're not even conscious of our imaging. So we're imaging the stuff we don't want. And we're going to talk about that later. That's the worry and the fear. And so every single time you image something, you can go back and change that image to something else. So if you decide you wanted a car, and you say, okay, like society tells you, your first car must be a used car, or a little starter car kind of thing. Right? And you come to this church and we tell you, you have a very big God. And you say, okay, well, if I have a big God, then I want a brand new car. Yes. Right. And then you say, okay, I can probably get a brand new jet tour because they know some, them kind of on the lower end in terms of price. And then you come here and then sing, I have a big, big God. And you say, no, I want a Mercedes-Benz Maybach. Yeah? That is the whole point of it. So it's important that you can reimagine whatever it is. Whatever your life is showing up as now, you can reimagine it. Now, the truth is, none of our lives inside there is as perfect as you want it to be. Which means all of us have some reimagining to do. Because what is showing up now is what you would have pictured before and imagined. Exactly as it is now. Right? Exactly how the sanctuary is now came from a vision that somebody saw and caught in faith and had to picture it, mold it into what it is today. Remember, for years, we sat that way. That was somebody's vision, faith, and work in action. Look in your life. In your life now, how it is now is what you have pictured and visioned to this point. So if the car all and broke up, it is your picture and vision. Not bad, not wrong, but you can reimagine something else. If the wallet empty, it is your picture and vision. If the body and the foot ache, it is your picture and vision. Right? And you just need to reimagine what it is. Got it? So you have to give your faith a form. It's important that you give your faith a form. You have to mentally start seeing the things that you want to have. If you don't decide on the image, life will hand you one. And the one it's going to hand you is based on what people think that you should do, be, or have. So, people going to tell you, you can't do this because of that, you can't do that, it's too that, you're too this, You have to image for yourself. Let's go to point 2. Together. Good. You are going to tell me because I grew up in Timbuktu, then I can't do this. Or because my mother had whatever she had and I'm not naming it, then it runs in my family and I'm supposed to have it. I tell people all the time, I want it to run past me. When I go to the doctor and they ask me, who is your physician? I say, God. And they start, you're laughing, you think I'm joking. They say, who is your family physician? God. What's the name of your doctor? God. Anything runs in your family? No. Never heard of it. Not interested. In about 2005, the founder of ASHE, Joseph Robinson, was having a health experience. He was in Reno, Nevada after going to one of our annual conferences, the Panorama of Truth. And he was at the hospital, and I was there with him as his caregiver. And so I'm there, and of course I'm in truth, so I'm working the principles while there. And the doctor comes in, and the doctor says, Mr. Wilson, you're next of kin? Yes, I am. I'd like to explain to you what Mr. Robinson is having. I'd like to go in detail and explain the symptom. I'm not interested, doctor. Doctor, I am not interested. You do what you need to do. I'll support you 100%. But I don't want to learn about that. No, some of you are quiet because you say, Lord, him hardy. But it's true. Now I am going to now create an image in my mind that's associated with whatever this thing name, etc., 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 etc. And then I'm going to tell myself, by the time I get to age, etc., there's a possibility that I could have, but I don't know what it is, so I can't have it. Are you understanding? I don't know what it is. At this point in my life, I don't even know what is carbs and carbohydrates. I don't know what they are. Unless the people at the gym tell me, don't eat this, don't eat that. Okay, fine. Okay, don't eat this. Yeah. But I don't know what they are. So I can't tell that this is fatty food and this is that and that. Because if I study that now and me, then God have mercy. Are you understanding? You have to be mindful of what it is that you are imaging. Be it directly or be it that you pick up from people. And it has nothing to do with your past. It doesn't matter what kind of past you have. You could have been as rich as whomever. If you don't image for yourself, that is why you see, we always talk about this on the other side. We always talk about if your past is bad, right? Or if it's not so wonderful. But let's talk about the flip side of that. You would have seen, or you may have heard, there are some families who they have children who would have come from some very rich, wealthy backgrounds. But by the time it gets to them, it mash up. Because they weren't taught to image what it is that they want. Everybody has to image for themselves. Nobody can image for you. Every single one of us must consciously image for ourselves, or else we're going to be in problem. We're going to be in problem. Yeah, it's very important. Now, you might say to me, okay, Conroy, where you get this from? Because remember, it's not motivational talking. Let's go back to the Bible. Love the Bible. Moses, remember before Moses became the big, wonderful person he is, remember he killed an Egyptian? You remember? Or you never know. Some people never know. Moses is a murderer. You laugh. And that did not stop him from imaging himself and his life as something greater and being transformed by the renewing of his mind, like Romans 12:2 tells us. That is why we say you have to work with this thing. David, our good friend King David. David was an adulterer with Bathsheba. So it don't matter, not even if you bring sex into it. That doesn't matter. What you did in your past don't matter. That does not matter. You have the power to image whatever you need to image right now. You need more examples or you got it? Fantastic. Point number 3. Vague wants create vague results, inconsistent results. Stop being so vague. You're going to one relationship and you're not clear. Listen, we are in this today and we are nice. And you for me and me for you, but there may be some other you for me and me for you outside. No, but you're clear. Are you understanding? It doesn't bring confusion. You have to be clear. What do you want? The thing that is written down in here, is it a clear idea? Have you caught the clear idea of what it is, or you just write down something on a piece of paper? I want to get more money. What does that look like? More money to do what? If you had a picture, most times I tell people all the time, you do not want money. Money can't eat. You don't want money. You want money to do something. You want money to feel a particular way. But you can feel that way without the money. And you can do that thing without you having the money. There are plenty of things I have done without me having a cent. Not 1 cent I have, and I do them anyway. I'll be serious. The building at 8 Cargill Avenue is probably worth over $1 million US or $1.5 billion now. I didn't have a cent, but it's there. It belongs to us. We own it because we were taught the power of catching God's idea and then imaging what we want. And we did that for years. We had a diagram written down, all the rooms that we wanted to have, all the rehearsal space we want to have, all the theater we want to have. Everything is written down. Every single thing is written down as detailed as possible. And as the years go by, we re-image. Because first, we wanted a theater with seats going up like at Philip Sherlock. That's what we imaged first. And then COVID came and we said, no, but we don't want a theater. We need something that is multi-purpose. It can be a theater one time. It can be a this one time. It can be a filming studio one time. And so we changed the image to what it is. You can do the same, and you ought to do the same with whatever your goal or your dream is. Got it? You sure you got it? Now, let's go on. Number 4. Good. The senses report conditions, not conclusions. The senses report conditions, not conclusions. Your 5 senses can tell you what the current condition is. That's wonderful and fine, but that's not the end. That is not the end. It is only the end if you make it the end. Look how much time your senses tell you things you never got, sir. No. Today you look outside, it says it's raining and I can't do nothing, I can't do this, I can't have that. So your sense is talking. That don't stop. Rain don't stop me from doing anything. I tell my people all the time. They say, sir, rehearsal too long. I want to, we're tired. And I say to them, but picture this. If I said to you, we're leaving tomorrow to go to Africa because we have a tour, and they want a whole new African show that we don't have ready, my same people will stay with me until 5 a.m. in the morning to put together that African show. No complaints. And the same ones will be at the airport for 7 o'clock. Same morning. No complaints. Are you understanding what I'm saying? The point is, we can do whatever we need to do without allowing our five senses to take control of who we are and what we say. Our appearances, which are the five senses, they can be loud. Yeah, we know they can be loud. They can scream at you for your attention, but they are not final. They are loud, but they are not final. So like a child who falls. You ever see a child falls and nobody's watching them get up and go about their business? But guess what now? The child falls and turn around and see you. And then you start saying, hush, 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 coochie, 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 coochie. And then bawl some more. What is that about? That is my point. Fooled by the fact they get the drop, nobody not there, they get up and they're gone again. Probably doing the same thing. Stop letting what you see decide what you say. Stop letting what you see decide what you say. You have the power to reimagine. At the wedding at Cana, they came to Jesus and said, Jesus, wine done. How are we going to manage? Jesus said, go for the jars of what you have. Fill them up with water. Go and go distribute them. Wine sweet, yeah? Now, if Jesus was not using his gift of imagination, then poor soul, I don't know, that would be a wineless wedding. The feeding of the 5,000, the same thing. Jesus, people, them hungry, as them out here from morning and them hungry, 5,000 over them. Where are we going to feed them? Now, these are the disciples. Remember I told you, all have your 12 disciples. You have to direct the disciples. You are not the disciple. You direct them. Sit the people down, says Jesus. Meaning, sit down the five senses. Sit down the worry, the this, the that. Tell the doubt, sit down. And then, gather what you have. Shift your attention from what these eyes are showing you. Gather what you have. And after you've gathered what you have, bless it. Because when you bless it, at you. And then, not only bless it, start share. You say you don't have nothing, but you have 5 loaves and 2 fish, just start share. In Jamaica, we say we have Margaret Pop. You know that statement? It never Margaret Pop until the people them get food. Until there was enough. The same with the lady with the jar of oil. Elisha said, what do you have in your house? Right? What do you have in your awareness? If you have in your awareness that nothing there, we can't do nothing, and nothing going to happen, then clearly. But that's what she said. I have nothing except 2 jars of oil. Go for them. Get your picnic them. Go collect all the jars of oil you can collect. Now, she imaged going to her neighbors and collecting these jars. She could have gone out to the road and collected a truck. She could have collected barrels. Because the amount that she collected and brought, all of them were filled until there were no more. Which means that each of us has the capacity for that which we image. As big as you want it to be. That's why we sang so much songs about have a very big God. Because some of you say have a very big God, but then you're squibbling over $5,000. Like, really? Which God? Scribbles over 5,000. God don't even know $5,000. Are you understanding? You have to practice. If you say you have a very big God, then have a big dream. Have a big goal. Let it scare you. Next one. Together. Misused faith. Misuse faith. You have the faith faculty, but you misuse it. You see trouble. You see all kind of trials and things that don't even happen. Many of us see these things in front of us and we say, but what if? I've never done this before. What if? And we start to worry. That's misused faith. That's misused imagination, because then you start to create a story of what don't even exist as yet. That's not the best use of your imagination. Image what you want and stop imaging what you don't want. It's not important. You have to release worry and redirect your faith. Got it? Faith in reverse is worry. Faith in reverse is worry. The same power, wrong direction. Same power, wrong direction. Most of us are rehearsing worry more than we're rehearsing faith. Wrong use of the faculty. Next one. Good. Now, this is the one that I said to myself, Conroy, God, you got to do some work. Because we are talking to ourselves all the time. The truth is that some of us think that, well, nobody is hearing what we are saying most of the time. But by your fruits, although we're not hearing what you are saying or thinking, we are seeing it by the life that you live. It's important. You paint the picture with your inner words. That's why I ask you to find out which one of those words resonates with you. You have to match what you are wanting to what you are saying about yourself inside. Think about it. You're saying some serious things. You have to think about, what am I saying? What am I really saying? I know what I'm saying sometimes, and I have to pray and say, oh God, no, please. Holy Spirit, change my heart, oh God. Yes. Make it ever true. No, seriously. You have to walk with yourself. Today I come and I say, Lord of mercy, Sigma run. Nobody not come at church. No, real inner conversation. Real inner conversation. You have to work with yourself. I'm not telling you something that I don't have to work. We have to work with ourselves. You can't show up without working on yourselves because it is obvious. You think people can't see it, but people are feeling and reading an energy from you and not understand what they're feeling and reading. And the energy is the inner conversation you are having that is playing out in your energy and your attitude and your everything without you even being conscious of it. So you wonder why people don't, you say, my spirit just not take that person there. Or that. When you say, my spirit just not take that person there, there is something, not in a them, in you. Because it could be in them, You would not recognize that if you did not have it in you to recognize. Number 7. Now, spending covers bills, maintenance. Investments yields returns, growth. Stop spending your life. Invest. How do I invest, Conroy? You start to focus on, like Philippians tells us, on those things that are pure, honorable, true, of just report. You sing them all the time. I know who I am. I'm walking in power. I'm walking in. And we go outside and we start fear. But you're not walking in power. You're not walking in power. You have to practice what you're preaching. You have to stop spending your energy. Start investing every single thing you're going to say or think. Is this an investment or am I just spending? Think about it. Is this thought, is this behavior, is this statement an investment? Meaning, will it cause me to grow? And you may say, okay, I'm not saying it's about me, I say it about Maxine. Yeah, but remember, your consciousness don't know Maxine. Your consciousness knows you. Your consciousness is not concerned with Maxine. Your consciousness is concerned with you and your own growth and development. That is why when Jesus was in the garden and he carried the disciples with him and told them to stay awake with him, they couldn't, because that was not their journey. That was Jesus' journey. He can't force them to stay awake and pray. They'll never get crucified. You getting what I'm saying to you? So in as much as I can tell you and carry you and support you and every single one of us must do our own journey. Every repeated thought is a deposit or a withdrawal. Every repeated thought that you have is a deposit or a withdrawal. Every repeated statement, you're training your expectation. You keep repeating something, you're training your expectation. Become conscious of what you're saying. You don't get what you want most. You get what you rehearse most. You get what you rehearse most. Them sound good because them rehearse a lot. No, I'm serious. Transfer that to life. What thoughts are you rehearsing day after day after day after day? Me can't do this. Me not have enough money. Life is never good. People don't like me. You're rehearsing it over and over and over and over and over again and then expecting things to change. And we always say that you can't do the same thing and expect a different result. That's insanity. No, we say that? Yeah, we believe that. The same is true. Reimagination is how you rehearse your desired life until it becomes natural. Reimagination is how you rehearse your desired life until it becomes natural. It's important. It's important. If anything in this thing, and we want everything to happen and come true, we have a vested interest in this happening because it corroborates our belief that it is God's will that every individual on the face of this earth live a and prosperous life. So we want it to happen. We also want it to happen because you know as good Christian students that as soon as your blessing comes, you're going to share it and pass it along. Do you say yes, sir? Yes, sir. Tithes increase. Let's go to our code together. Your senses report the current version. Your senses tell you what is happening currently. Your faith is looking to what is possible. What is possible. That's where you must live, in the possibility. Reimagination is how you rehearse the next version until it feels like nothing. Practice it, practice it, practice it, practice it until it comes natural for you. Any morning you get up and don't feel good, put on your best outfit. Look your best self. Walk down your best self. Nobody must know nothing going on. Your best self. And you would be astonished how that energy pulls to you experiences that shifts your attention. That is how you rehearse and reimagine your good. Whenever you feel down, go take out your list that you wrote for the beginning of the year. Take out the list and read it again. And remember that this is what you said that you wanted to do. And we are told that God, in Jeremiah 29:11, I know the plans I have for you. So even what you wrote in the list is not your idea. You think it's your idea? No. You're just now being open to what God has been saying, come and ready to express through you. You're just now being open to it. The car that you want, that's God saying, come on, transportation. I'm ready now for you to have good transportation. Right? And because it's God's idea, it's not your business how it's supposed to happen. That's none of your business. Your business is to catch the idea, shape it into what you want to shape it into, Listen for the instruction that says, okay, what's my next move? And then walk ye in it. Catch the idea, shape the idea, listen for God's guidance, walk ye in it. How much money that cost you? Catch the idea, how much money it costs to catch the idea? Shape the idea, how much money it costs to shape the idea? Listen to God's instruction, how much money it costs you? Walk ye in it, how much money it costs you? So why are you telling me about money? Where does money come from? Where does money get into the equation? School fee to pay. Catch the idea. I'm graduating, it must be finished. Shape it. Have on a nice outfit. Shape it. I hear the people talking. I'm the valedictorian. Taking pictures. Mom, dad, always there. Listen to God's instruction. God, I'm listening. I'm here. You said graduate. I'm going to graduate. Come on. What must I do next? God says go study. Come off of social media. No, but social media nice. Because Burna Boy or whatever his name is, the halftime show, same name? Bunny. He's on it. Are you get what I'm saying? Something is happening. God says, no, listen, listen, listen. Okay, God. But Skilly Ben just dropped a song. Okay, God, I'm listening. Trinidad Carnival. Listen. Listen, God. No, God, but we forgot Sigma run. Listen to your instructions. Are you understand what I'm saying to you? Listen. Because in your listening, God is going to direct you. Always. You're always being directed, you know. Every single moment. You are here today because God directed you here. You think it's your free will that you came here. You did not come here of your own free will. God sent you here. The issue is, you must find out if the reason God sent you here, if you are open and available to it. God sent you here because there's a blessing here for you. If you walk out of here today and you did not get a blessing or a healing, that's not on God. That's not on UCTruth. It's not on Conroy. It is on you. Because there is a blessing here. You have to know, were you really here or were you sitting in the benches? Your assignment for the week. Define the image. Right? Write down what your desired outcome is, then spend some time and build a mental scene as if it was done. Before I bought the house I'm living in now, I always wanted a house for years and years and years. And so I did my vision board, put up a nice house on it, and I said I want to live in a peaceful neighborhood, etc., etc., etc. And every Sunday after church, I go look on houses. Remember, I don't have no money, you know. But that's not part of my instruction. Every Sunday I look at houses. Until after a time, remember I tell you, rehearse the thing until it becomes natural. So of course, when I went the first couple of times, you hear 50 million or 70 million, you kind of get little cutish. But after you hear it so many times, it's like, okay. Oh, 50 million, okay, no problem. That's fine. You're still on the money, but you're walking in it. So there's a particular house in Cherry Gardens that I love. And so I'm working the principles. And what I would do is every day after I leave work, I would drive to that house because I'm going home. I drove up, the house was empty, so praise God. No people ever think I was stuck in there. I drove up literally, and look here now, the house saw, and me live so. So you know, to go there, it's not like it was on my way, but I was rehearsing my image until it becomes natural. I drove to the house every single night, right up to the gate, every single night. Stopped at the gate, closed my eyes, and visualized myself pressing the button for the gate to open, going inside, etc., 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 etc. We never get the house. But I got something better. No, I'm serious. So I'm saying to you, it is possible. If you can just, right where you are in this moment, for anything and everything, re-image. the good you desire. You are not too young, you are not too old, you are not too black, you are not too dunce, you are not too anything that you would have heard or believed about yourself. It is all possible. You just got to believe it, and so it is.